In terms of the factors affecting the promotion mix, here we can see the nature of the product. For example, the product can be classified as either a business product or a consumer product. Stages of the life cycle, target market characteristics. So, for example, highly informed buyers or brand loyal repeat customers. Now, these guys don't need as much direct or personal selling. For them, general promotional activities like advertising on TV, radio, or even sales promotion works perfectly well. They already know your product, so they just want to know what's new, what's out there. Whereas someone who's never heard of your product before or is deciding whether to switch products, they're going to need a lot more hand-holding and much more of a personalized service. The type of buying decision also is an important factor that affects the promotional mix, as in how we communicate to our customers. For example, for routine consumer decision making, such as buying toothpaste, we can use reminder advertising. However, for more complicated buying decisions, such as buying cars or buying a house, this is where we as marketers need to get more extensively involved, as customers would require a lot more information to help them reach a purchase decision. Think about buying a mobile phone. You're probably going to have the phone for 2 to 3 years. Now, that's a decent investment of time. Or buying a new laptop, or a car, or even a house for that matter, which you might be paying off for the next 30 years. All right, so here's a big one: availability of funds for promotion, as in budget or money. Money or the lack of it may easily be the most important factor in determining the promotional mix. If we don't have money for big budget advertisement, we're not going to advertise on TV. We might just use social media, as it's a lot more cost effective. And the last one, push and pull strategies. As a definition, push strategy is when you use aggressive personal selling and trade advertising to convince a wholesaler or retailer to carry and sell particular merchandises. Basically, what you're doing is you're pushing your product through the channel. So the manufacturer promotes to the wholesaler promotes to the retailer promotes to the consumer, and then the consumer buys from the retailer. As the manufacturer is pushing the product across, the wholesaler comes back and demands more product to sell. A good example of a company that does this is Coca-Cola. Whereas a pull strategy is the complete opposite. This definition is stimulates consumers' demand to obtain product distribution. Basically what that means, the wholesaler demands products from the manufacturer. And the way this is achieved is the manufacturer promotes to the consumer. This way, the consumer now demands a product from the retailer. The retailer goes to the wholesaler and goes, "Hey, where's the product?" And then the wholesaler goes back to the manufacturer and says, "Please let me sell your product." An example of a company that does this rather well is Beats by Dre. Do you remember a few years ago, everybody was wearing Beats? Whether they be musicians, they be athletes. It got to the point where during the Olympics, the IOC, so International Olympic Committee, banned athletes from wearing Beats during the events because all the athletes were coming out with Beats headphones. Nike is interesting because Nike will use both push and pull techniques, depending on the situation and depending on the product. They use this technique quite well to engage consumers at different angles and get them interested in their brand. At the end of the day, we need to look at a whole heap of factors to work out which push and pull techniques we'll use when. Information in regards to this, as well as budget and timelines, all this stuff goes into the promotional plan, which helps not only the marketers, but the organizations at large to understand what are we doing, when are we doing, how are we doing, why are we doing, How much will this cost? And eventually, if we do our jobs right, ensure that our product is not only being bought by our customers, but us as an organization are becoming well known in the industry, and the time, money, and effort we put in has positive outcomes, which helps our organization to become successful not only today, but also tomorrow, and potentially sustainable for a long, long, long time to come.